Hey guys, we're back to Rocket Motorsport here with another video, this time Austria for the Formula 1 Grand Prix. This time we're on equal for the first time in the league, so see what happens is everyone will now with equal cars. It should either be closer or it might be further away than the realistic league we had before. If you guys prefer this equal league racing to the realistic, we'll keep it this way, but if you guys prefer realistic to equal, there we might switch it back. It's sort of depending on what the drivers want at the end of the day, and that's how the league runs. So, looks like Megan's cheering around the final corner then. We're heading to the final corner. Goes around and now coming onto the start and finish straight here at Austria. Will he improve on his lap time to get into the front row? Oh, did he? Yes, he did. He goes P2. Nice lap there from Megan Centurion to get that job done. Now, it's Joe Pilkey, though, on pole position for the first time in a long while. With Megan Centurion and P2. P3 going to Chris. And a few other nice little shout-outs going on ahead. But a lot of invalidations. But yeah, Joe had a lot of laps there as well, so that's key because it's a wet race for yeah, it's very wet race. But it's turning out to be dry later on in the race, or so I think it is. I don't know. That's what I'm being told at the time. Do we trust it? Do we not trust it? Well, let's find out. Why not? Let's go straight into the formation lap then. Well, after we've gone through everyone's laps and everything like that, but on the formation lap, you can see how wet it is. As Interlagos has gone for a spin there. And that's not good. I don't know what happens there, but extra corners is hit golden fast on the formation lap. But that's all behind what happens. Yeah, Interlagos goes for a spin, some mishaps happen further back. But it's Joe on pole position in the AlphaTauri with the equal cars. P2 going for Meg Centurion, and these wets are really going to be a big thing in this Grand Prix. P3 going to Chris, great job by him, and beating Jack there to P4. A big surprise is definitely VRT Golden though, who's in P5, and that's definitely not where he wants to be in that Ferrari, especially in these conditions anyway. As Malcolm behind him, not really seen too much of Malcolm, but he's there. P7 going to Interlagos, who is a long way down, at the back there because of his spin. Crimson P8 in the Red Bull. Be interested to see what he could do as well. With Sharrett, who's brand new to the league and only doing a one-race debut, to see if he enjoys it here or not. So let's see what he can do. Although I think it's his AI racing most of this race because he had to go for a family emergency. I don't really know. JJ P10, P11 going to Golden Fast, P12 going to extra corner issues early on, and Payox Remix, who wasn't in quali and is now here for the race, has almost been on formation lap. That's not good for him anyway. Now coming around this fast, right-hander, definitely the tricky one in the wet, as no drivers losing on the formation lap. I thought we might have. Oh, never mind, we have. I think that was Joe. Was that Joe who's gone around? No, it's Malcolm. Malcolm's gone around. I don't really know what happened there, but Malcolm, yeah. I've not a clue. And now we got another one off. This is Payox now. We've lost 2 cars on the formation lap. Now that's an interesting way to start this Grand Prix. Maybe it's going to be a crash Grand Prix. So let's see. Moving on to the start and finish straight then. Let's see what these guys can do from the line. Here we go then for the 10 red light Grand Prix. A load of people have jumped the start. 3 people have just jumped the start there. Harrison, I believe, was one who's called VRT Golden. Extra Cornish, I believe, is another one. And Payox Remix, I think. So we've got a huge mess here. Going into turn 1 to the crash. JJ's gone off. I think that's... that's Malcolm, and he's reset to track, bless him. He's going to get a penalty for that. I believe it was only a 3-second time penalty. It might be more than that. We'll see. As I head into tricky turn 2, Remus corner. Heading into the right-hander then. Is anyone going to go for a cheeky dive bomb like they did in the F2 races? Well, they've all made it safely through turn 2, and that's a bit of a surprise in the wet conditions. Good start there though by Joe to keep the whole shot. Meg Centurion in P2, Chris P3, and Jack holding position. So the big losers here is probably XR Cornish with the drive-through and Jack having a drive-through. And whoever the other people were with the drive-through. There's another car off on the grass there. On the exit of the corner, it was McLaren. It was Payox after his terrible start already. He's going backwards again. So, starting last, and he's got to keep his eyes going forwards. JJ, though, he's made a mess of that. Turn 1, I don't know what happened, but he's caused an absolute pile-up. That was Mega, who's got, I think, front wing damage, or just being very cautious here in the opening laps. As someone else is off, and I think it was Interlagos. Interlagos made a huge mistake somewhere, and that's dropped him down a load of positions. Now heading into Rent corner, I don't really know. It's a corner nonetheless. On board with he's off and he's into the wall. That's not his fault. He got turned across. Poor Harrison into the wall. And that's the way it goes for him. As you see, extra corner. I don't really know what he's doing. I mean, I don't know why he did that early, but he's releasing Dixie early. He gets instantly destroyed by JJ into turn 1 here. He just completely misses breaking point. And I feel bad for Malcolm being collected there, as Golden has left the session and retired. I think he was disqualified for spinning in the pit lane. Don't really know what happened there, but yeah, that's happened. As Golden fast gets past Chris in P3 there, but further backwards, we're going to see a huge overtake there by Interlagos. Great job by him to get that one done through the hospital corner. I'll give him credit for that one. Now, Golden fast has caught up to Mega Centurion here, going up through into Rint corner one more time, or Rind corner, I don't know, it's RINDT apparently on this map I'm looking at. An interesting one, as in the pits, we've already got people in the pits. Joe's in the pits, Mega's in the pits, and Chris is in the pits. Looks like an ideal time to be pitting, as JJ trying out well, yeah, it's intermediates time, and as JJ's in the wall. JJ's been hit by Sharp. JJ, his race is going bad from worse here. He's got to keep going though, so his penalty won't affect his next race. I believe the next track after this one was Britain? I don't know, I'm quite far behind. So I actually will be doing quite a few uploads in the next couple of days, maybe like 3 a day, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but this one, just one tonight I think, maybe 2, depending if I get away with another one. As onto the grass goes Extra Cornish. That's not going to help his progress catch up to Crimson Blades, and he's going to be the one on the progress here. He's got 17, well, 27, I don't know, I can't do maths. Like 17 laps to go, I believe. We'll go with that, 17. As going through turn 1, as huge mistake by Blaze on the exit turn 1. Loses the rear massively. Extra Cornish gets past with a nice move there out of Nicky Loud curve. And heading into this next corner. And moving on, Extra Cornish this time on Interlagos. Can we see what he can do on Interlagos? And hits Interlagos there. Into turn 2, I believe that one is. Oh, they've changed the corner names, by the way. So that is legitimately turn 2. No corner names through this bit, and then they're into turn 3. I don't really know what the corner names are, because it's a bit broken, I have to admit. And so Cornish up the inside of Interlagos though. Great move there to get past Interlagos. And that is another position gained, heading through into turn 4. Left-hander, double left. Tricky one. Now on board the Extra Cornish, heading through into turn 4. Or turn 3 even, up the inside, brakes quite late. Guess we've done, no contact made. And that is how you gain a position in the wet, like a champ. Now, moving on to the race leaders, it's Joe Pilkey versus Golden Fast. Golden with a penalty at the moment, so just in Joe's favours right now. But to head through turn 2, Joe's been forced off the track by Golden. And, yeah, that's not going to go down too well. But that's what happened in the F1 reality race, so we'll let that one slide. No penalty given there, I don't think. Now, Extra Cornish versus Malcolm now. Extra Cornish on the charge here on lap 14. He could still come through to get a podium at this rate. He's got to get past Malcolm, and then he's got to get past Chris. But with the drying track, which it looks like it's going to be drying, but it currently is drying, it's gone from full wet to winters, so it's still drying as we speak. Now, Extra Cornish with the switch back there. Is it going to work though on this straight? This straight has no name apparently. Heading into turn 3 called Sloshal Gold, or I don't know, I don't know. Turn 3 anyway. The names on this track are very complicated. I should probably get an Austrian to do the corner names and things like that. But moving on, we are still on board with Extra Cornish here, looking for a move to get past Malcolm, who is holding up Extra Cornish quite a lot here, which is only going to help Chris out at the end of the day. So he's doing Chris a huge favour here as they head through the fast turn, like the left-right, turn 5 and turn 6. Now heading into turn 7, is Extra Cornish going for a move into the front corner? Not quite this time round, but he misses the apex quite a bit, does Malcolm. And I tell you what, Extra Cornish thought about going for the dive bomb there. It didn't quite work out, but Malcolm's got a penalty there. So, with that being said, with the not even using overtake button on the straight was Extra Cornish. Interesting move by that. Up the inside at turn 1, there's contact on the exit. Turns out it's just a little bit of lag, I believe, but that could have ended up in tears, and it would have been made as lag. But now, Extra Cornish has got past Malcolm. But Malcolm is not going to give up just like that. Heading into turn 2. Around the outside, Malcolm goes on Extra Cornish. There's a little bit of contact on the exit because Extra Cornish is not giving really that much of a space. But it is the wet conditions. This is what can be expected. But Malcolm, he's not going to sit back. He's going to go for a move into turn 3, is he? Sends it up the inside of Extra Cornish. These two are still battling for a full lap now. And Malcolm is still side by side on the exit, heading through this into this left-hander. Turn 4. But Extra Cornish just about gets ahead. Nice battle there between the pair. Now we should probably see Extra Cornish pull away now and not really look back. Although saying that he's had a huge mistake through there, that's really going to cost him dearly against Malcolm. into this next right-hander. Is Malcolm going to look for the move? Not quite this time round. So is Extra Cornish just going to pull away? It's possible. Stays to the move that he made into turn 1, I believe. Cut the corner quite enough, and actually was enough to get a penalty there. So that's probably why there was a ghost, because he was so far off the track. Then it went to dries. So everyone's on soft sort of mediums. You go with what you need and what you prefer. As up the inside goes Jack, who's making a huge return here in the field. Remember, he had a drive-through penalty, so he's got a long way to go in this Grand Prix, but he's making up time like there's no tomorrow. But he decides on this straight, I don't really know why, he's pulled over and let Crimson back through. Maybe these two are working together to try and catch up to the car in front, which is Extra Cornish, and that's a bit of a brave ask, I have to admit. But I don't really know what Jack's doing. As he goes through this tricky left-hander, well, this left kink, shall we say, heading into turn 2, then up the inside goes Jack, huge dive bomb that gets him done, and I think Jack should now just pull away with the advantage of the car. I mean, he's not even opening DRS, so I don't know what Jack's plan is here, but it's not really working out as Crimson looking for the move into turn 3. There's contact between the pair. Crimson going in too deep, and now Crimson's lost a lot of time by hitting the back of that car. Now, only 7 laps to go. Extra Cornish, yep, the guy on the charge now caught up to Interlagos. Goes well off the track around the final corner. So using up track limits is definitely what Extra Cornish is doing right now. Can't say that's what you were doing though. Heading into turn 1 then, gets past Interlagos, but uses the outside curve there. He needs to give that position back, otherwise that might be a penalty. If it is a penalty, I won't be surprised, because he's gone all the way off the track. He has to give that position back, but he hasn't. Interlagos still looking up the inside into turn 2, but he hasn't gained an advantage over Extra Cornish since Extra Cornish fell off the track. So that would be a 5-second penalty, I expect, for not giving that place back and going fully off the track to gain the advantage. But moving on to lap 35 out of 36, it's now Joe Pilkey versus Chris, and Chris had a huge mistake out of turn 1. So Joe with the advantage all over the back of Chris with the overtake button and the DRS in use. Up the inside on the fresher softs, well, the soft compound tyre anyway, gets himself into P3, and that's quite a crucial place to be. But as for Golden Fast, it's been a Grand Prix to remember, as he wins the Austrian Grand Prix. That's a nice job there, and he's won it by a lot of margin as well. So Meg Centurion, he looks like he's going to come home in P2, got a lovely helicopter shot from him. Coming through this turn 5 and turn 6, the left-right, onto this small straight, heading to the plotted corner. Got a lovely helicopter shot there, as now the sun's come out, so was a fully wet track, is ending up in the sunshine. JJ crosses the line as well, race for him to forget. Jack's already crossed the line, Crim's already crossed the line, but makes sure to get P2, P3, going to Joe, he's a lot closer, but Chris, great job there to get P4 and keep the advantage. But what about Extra Cornish, who had a drive through? He had penalties for days though, so how far back is he going to drop those penalties? As Payox has crossed the line, pick up P10, so Payox, after the race he's had, he's got a point, so that's not bad, but not particularly great from him either. Malcolm crossing home, is he going to get P5? Yes he does, on penalties. Now the last person to finish this race is going to be Interlagos coming to line. Where's he going to finish? He doesn't gain any positions, no matter how many penalties Extra Cornish had in the end. We'll see in a minute how many that was. And as you can see, Extra Cornish is got quite a few, I believe. There you go, there's the tyres. A lot of people switching to the softs. Mediums was the way to go in my opinion, so I think Chris was on the right compound tyre in the end. As the penalties, well yeah, it's quite a lot for Extra Cornish. Chris had quite a few as well at one point, but it's a lot of Cornish, and yeah. But God of Fast, a few penalties from him as well, you know. That is the way it goes in racing, and he had some nice consistency there as well towards the end of the race and at the beginning. But Meg Centurion, once again, he tried to get no penalties. He got one penalty in the end, so I think he would take that happily. After all, one penalty is not the end of the world. So I will leave you guys with the rest of the race director. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.